Hi and welcome to the video on number patterns. By the end of this video, hopefully you'll be able to recognize some number patterns and know how to continue them on. So let's take a look at number patterns. So here is a number pattern. It starts off with 20, 16, 12 and 8, and then we want to find out what the next two numbers are. And if you can recognize the pattern, you might know that next two numbers are going to be 4 and 0. So what was the rule? The rule was that we started at 20 and we subtract 4 each time. We don't say we're going down by 4. We want to use an operation like subtract or multiply, divide, times, or add. So how do we work the rule out? Well, we can look for certain things like a common difference. In this case, the common difference was minusing 4. There might be a common ratio where we either multiply or divide by the same number. Or there might be an increasing or decreasing difference in the set of numbers that we're looking at. So we're going to look at those three examples. Here are some examples on a common difference. This first one, 5, 10, 15, 20, looks to be going up by the same amount, and we might notice that it's actually adding 5 each time, which means that our next two numbers are going to be 25 and 30. The rule is we start at 5 and we add 5 each time to get the next number in the sequence. For our next example, we're starting at 99, going down to 91, 83, and 75. If we know it's going down, and we notice that it's going down by the same amount, we're subtracting 8 each time. So we get 67 and 59 as our next two numbers in our sequence. The rule is start at 99 and subtract 8. It's important to have a starting point and then how to continue the rule on. Let's look at some examples with a common ratio. We look at 1, 3, 9, and 27, and we notice that they're not going up by the same amount, or we're not increasing by the same amount. However, if we were to multiply each of our numbers by 3, we would get the next number in the sequence, which means that our next two numbers are going to be 81 and 243. Hope you know your times tables. So the rule is going to be to start at 1 and then multiply by 3. In our next example, we have 32, 16, 8, and 4, and you might noticing that we're halving the number each time. Another way of writing that is to say that we're dividing by 2, which means that our next two numbers are going to be the number 2 and the number 1. Our rule is to start at 32 and divide by 2. Now we're going to take a look at this one that's an increasing or a decreasing difference. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at 1, 2, 4, and 7 and try and work out a pattern. We know that it's not increasing by the same amount, and it's not also multiplying by the same amount either. But what we might notice is that the first difference between 1 and 2 is 1, and the next difference is 2, and then the next difference is 3. Continuing this pattern, the next two differences should be 4 and 5. So our next two numbers should be 11 and 16. Our rule is to start at 1 and add 1 more each time. So what should you write? Well, the heading number patterns is a good place to start, as well as that first example. Write down how we got our rule and the three things that we're looking for. You'll also need to write down the examples for the common difference, common ratio, and the increasing decreasing difference that you should be looking for each time you see a pattern of numbers. And that's it. Hopefully now you can recognize number patterns and be able to continue them on and also write the rule. Good luck.